Hello everybody, my name is Khaled Siddiqui, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to install or how to use and wire a Garmin wireless backup camera to your Garmin GPS. Now these cameras are compatible with several different models of Garmin GPS units, and in the description down below I left a link which takes you to the Garmin website where it shows the compatible devices list. And I'm also gonna write down a few major ones into the description. So here's what's included when you get this. When you get this, you basically, when I got it brand new from Amazon. I didn't see like a seal or a tape. It was just like that. And I opened it, and this is what it was. You have the manual, you have the actual camera, you have the receiver module. This is the receiver module right here, and this is what plugs in to the cigarette lighter port, and this goes to your Garmin. And the transmitter module. This is what transmits. And also you also get two mounting screws with a little wrench. Okay, that's all you get. Okay, so now I'm going to leave the box aside and talk about how to install it. Alright, so where is the camera? There. So the camera plugs in to the transmitter module, and the transmitter module remotely or wirelessly transmits the images to the receiver module, and the receiver module plugs into your Garmin device. So this cable must be used with your Garmin in order to use the backup camera. You cannot use the original cable that came with your Garmin in order to use this. Now I'm using this Garmin right here. I believe it's a Nuvi 2597 LMT, but you don't necessarily have to use this model. It works with a whole bunch of different models. So you need to plug this in right here, right there, and you need to plug this into your car cigarette lighter. Let me unwind this so I can do this for you. There. So I'm going to plug this into the cigarette lighter. Okay, these are always tricky, but I'll figure it out. There you go. So I will plug it in. So it's plugged in. There is no light here, but there is a light on the thing itself. Okay, so let me turn this on. Okay, I don't get any power. Let's see what's going on. There you go. Okay, so now let's open the camera and plug it into the transmitter. Okay, so the transmitter has to be powered in, and this is how you do it. So the power cable must be, unplug this, plugged into the car reverse light, which is the one that's I believe white color. That when your car goes in reverse, a white light comes on. That's the one that you have to plug it in to that to the power cable that goes to that white light. Now, let me pause for a moment and explain this much carefully. If you plug in your camera to the reverse light, the camera image will automatically come to your Garmin screen every time you shift your transmission gear to reverse. The image of the camera comes to your Garmin screen automatically. You don't have to do anything. But if you permanently plug it in or wire it to a 12-volt source, I'm talking about the transmitter. I'm talking about this. this guy. If you permanently wire it to a 12 volt, then you have to manually turn the camera on and off from your GPS screen. It doesn't come automatically. Now, what's the benefit and disadvantages? If you leave it on permanently to a 12 volt source, then even on the freeway you could see who's tailgating you. Like, you could turn it on and look what's going on. If there's something or a crime is happening behind you, someone's tailgating you, or if there's an accident, you want to see what happened. Like in most cars, if you have a cargo vehicle, maybe you don't have a visual behind you. Like some vans, there is no visual. You have to look at the side rear view mirrors to see. And for that, it comes in handy to have a camera and let it turn on manually. Now, the disadvantage is that when you go to reverse, you have to turn on the camera manually. Now, the advantage of the reverse, if you wire it to the white reverse light, the advantage is that you don't have to do it manually. Every time you shift the gear, the camera will appear on your GPS screen. So now let's start continuing the installation. Okay. I'm indoors right now, so that's why it has no signal. Okay, so now I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this to this puppy. This goes right here, and then there's a notch. If you look, there's a notch that it only goes in one way. You cannot mess it like that. This has two types of mounting mechanism, okay? One mounting mechanism is that it goes to the license plate like that. Just like that. See that? Slides into the license plate. The second mechanism is you put screws here and here, and the screws are provided that you can mount it like permanently. Okay? And this has a adhesive back that you could peel off and mount it to a flat, smooth surface in your vehicle. Now, this unit must be mounted indoors in your vehicle so it doesn't get wet or anything, because this unit right here must be in a controlled temperature, where the camera itself is designed for outdoor. It's waterproof camera, so the rain doesn't hurt it or anything. Okay? Alright, so now if you apply the 12 volts, let me turn on my 12 volt power supply here. I have a power supply, and I'm going to I'm applying 12 volts to it right now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I applied 12 volt, and as soon as I did, look, this automatically came. Okay, let me remove this little tape. There you go. This is me. So that's how it works. Now, if you want this camera to permanently have 12 volts, then you want to turn off the camera, this is how you do it. You go back and you just have your normal GPS. Every time you want to see what's happening behind you, you press this guy. Like that. Simple as that. They couldn't have made it more simple. And then you have settings of the camera too. Backup camera. Add new camera. You could have multiple cameras. And if you have multiple cameras like side camera, front camera, back camera, then you could choose up to 4 cameras. This is your primary camera. You could either unpair it, you could rename it, and you could also turn on and off the cancel. Hold on. You can turn off the guidelines. See these guidelines? Show guidelines, adjust guidelines and stuff. The guidelines are those lines that show you when you're going reverse. Let me show you what I mean. These are the guidelines, these little lines. So you could turn those guidelines off and or turn it on. But I mean, I like the guidelines, but I like the ones that are what do you call it, connected to your steering wheel, that when you twist the steering wheel right and left, turn your steering wheel, the guidelines bend. I like those. So that's how you install a Garmin camera. It's basically that simple. Very, very simple. All you have to do is plug in these two wires. Let me get this back. This one, plus and minus, and that's all I did. I plugged this to plus and minus, and I got my camera running. Now the plus and minus, I use a power supply. Well, I can do it in front of you. Watch. Plus and minus. Just as soon as I plug it in, watch the camera. There you go. So imagine this being the reverse light. So as soon as you power the reverse light, the camera operates and activates. Now this is a low resolution camera. It's not like your greatest camera, but it does the job. It does the job. All right. Okay. So that's how easy it was. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.